Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So welcome to another market open stream. And yes, today the US market is open, unlike yesterday. So it's really the first day of the week if you think about it. There's always a lot to talk about. So let's look at what's going on today and also look at history and what it says about Bitcoin right now and how this is one of Bitcoin's biggest buying opportunities. So let's look at all these things and more. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting out a day slightly, I was gonna say below, but we're slightly above 68,000. So we haven't been moving, for about a week now, but really we've been hovering here for a couple weeks, right around where we are, right around 70-ish or a little bit under. We haven't seen any major moves right now, unfortunately. Let's see, even today it's not looking good for silver and gold, which has gone down even more. But I did notice Coinbase just flipped to the green. Let's see if that is a thing. Normally, Coinbase flipping to the green is a good thing for crypto. That means Wall Street's buying. So let's see what happens. Robinhood just flipped slightly to green. It's still kind of mixed. MicroStrategy is still in the red. Let's see how today goes. The U.S. market is opening up mixed. Green for Dow, red for NASDAQ. So what is there to expect today and tomorrow? Well, there's a few stuff that's coming today. Okay, home builders confidence index, and we have a Fed governor that's speaking and a Fed president that's speaking. But tomorrow will be the big day. Tomorrow we're going to get the FOMC minutes from last FOMC, I guess, press conference / meeting. And then we're going to get some more economic data. And then Thursday, we're going to get a little bit more jobless claims. And then Friday is the big day. Friday is when we get GDP numbers and PCE numbers, and those will be huge. Okay, so today is still kind of quiet. And I think a lot of people are still coming back from vacation or whatever. So, but tomorrow, Thursday, leading into Friday is going to be a big market day, that's for sure. What else? Well, Trump's new nominee, Kevin Warsh, said that, you know what, there's no more blaming the other guy, meaning that we have Powell and others that have blamed inflation on supply chain issues, on the war, on whatever. And he's like, no. Okay, we're past all that. Inflation falls squarely on the Federal Reserve. And it's the Federal Reserve's responsibility to bring inflation down, right? So he's like, stop pointing fingers elsewhere. Point it back at yourself. And this is the type of man that we expect to lead the new Federal Reserve, right? Well, now take responsibility. Although there's some controversy because people don't want to support this nomination before all the indictments or investigations with Powell's over. But most likely he's going to become our next Fed chair, which actually isn't a bad choice at all. What else? Iran fires missiles into the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, it seems like this is escalating a little bit, obviously. And the U.S. been threatening to go in there and do military action. Hasn't done it yet. Don't know if they will. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Seems like it's one thing after another, after another, after another. We'll see. Maybe another Venezuela moment happens in Iran. We don't know. It's a much bigger country, and I think they are armed more, armed better, and it's farther away. So I don't think it's going to be quite as simple as it seems. Who knows? Maybe we have all these crazy weapons that we haven't unveiled yet, just like the the energy weapon we used in Venezuela. Maybe we have that and something else, and it completely disrupts them. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. All right, moving back to crypto-related news. Trump says the crypto market structure bill will pass soon, okay, which will bring more clarity to the entire space. So the SEC and CFTC, they are not fighting anymore. They agree on which crypto, which niches that they are the jurisdiction body for. Okay, so unlike before, the SEC and CFTC, they had contention. They were fighting over for like, does Bitcoin belong here? Does Ethereum belong here? Does staking belong here? Does prediction markets belong here? Does exchanges belong here? Like, a lot of contention. Now it's like, hey, we need to unify. We need to know how to work together. That always bothered me about the last administration and all this crypto, regulatory bodies. They didn't know. They didn't have any structure. They didn't know what was what. Gary Gensler was just making things up on the fly. And it seemed like it was a power move. He just declared everything a security so that the SEC could control, and the CFTC had no power, right? So that's why, like, no one ever checked Gary Gensler when he was in power, because it was just disarray. But it seems like right now that's not the case, right? There's a big push forward for innovation, for solving things rather than just sue everyone. So that's part of the fundamentals, and that's great. That's great. Even the CFTC formed this digital commodity no, it wasn't that. They formed some kind of here we go. The Innovative Advisory Committee. Okay. And it has a whole bunch of big crypto companies and Web 2 companies, and everyone's in it. And they're talking, right? And they are very pro innovation. So, for example, they're very pro predictive markets, and they love it. And I love that too. So hopefully this passes soon, sooner than expected. Hopefully. Also, JD Vance, he said, China doesn't like Bitcoin, so we should ask ourselves, why is that? Why is our biggest adversary such an opponent in Bitcoin? If the CCP is leaning away from Bitcoin, then maybe the US should be leaning into Bitcoin. Well, obviously, we have been leaning there. And Trump did say he's still trying to find ways to buy Bitcoin, right, to add it to our reserve. And we're still waiting for that to happen. Or maybe it has happened, it just hasn't been announced yet. So embracing Bitcoin is definitely a good thing. Definitely a good thing. And more countries needs to do so. Robert Kiyosaki still saying, he's been saying this for over 10 years, that there's going to be the biggest stock market crash in history coming. However, even though we may all disagree upon that point, the point that I don't think any of us disagrees with is, you know what? You got to load up. You got to load up on things that have real value and will not debase and not rob you of your buying power. So things like, he has always been a big supporter of gold, silver, now Bitcoin, and even Ethereum. He keeps saying, even while Bitcoin's down and coming down, he's still saying that Bitcoin is still his main his main go-to. And it's even better than gold because there's a set supply. Like, this is coming from one of the biggest gold bugs on the planet. He owns not gold, but gold mines, silver mines. He buys out mines. Yet he is fully embracing Bitcoin. It's an amazing thing to see. It's an amazing thing to see. All right. What else? Strategy, of course, is going to continue to accumulate, and they did. 2,486 more Bitcoin for their treasury, now up to 717,000. Just a matter of time. I think this year they will break through 1 million and possibly exceed Satoshi's bag. That's coming up. That's coming up. So he will continue to buy and load up. And even though people are very, very afraid that strategy may need to sell and liquidate their Bitcoin holdings, Saylor has come out and squashed those rumors and said they don't need to do anything unless Bitcoin falls below $8,000. Then they may be in trouble. So it's not zero, but we're nowhere close to that 8,000 mark that would probably get them worried. Or below 10,000. Who else? North Carolina, the state of North Carolina, just bought 9,000 more shares of strategy. So they believe, rather than buy Bitcoin ETF or Bitcoin, they're buying strategy shares. Interesting. I mean, there are still some states that are still prohibited from buying Bitcoin directly or Bitcoin ETF. So this is the next best thing, right? If you need a proxy into Bitcoin, you go with strategy. If you can't buy Bitcoin or Bitcoin ETFs. El Salvador continue to buy. They've been buying 1 Bitcoin every single day. Sometimes they can buy more. So now their bag has gotten to 7,565. That's 512 million. That's with the 50% downturn that we have seen. So if we were back to all-time high, that would be well above $1 billion. And this is just a country that's been adding 1 Bitcoin basically every day for the last however many years. This is the power of DCA. I don't know what their average price is, but it's lower. It's way lower than Saylor's. Because they haven't been buying a whole bunch toward the top. They've just been doing 1 per day. You know, for an average person, you can't buy 1 per day. That's just way too much, right? But buying 0.01 per day, something like that, which is like, or 0.001, $60 a day or $600 a day. I see $600 a day is kind of ridiculous, so probably not. 0.001, $60 a day, it adds up over time. Good for them. French company, capital B, buys 6 Bitcoin. Again, even small amounts. For them, it's small. 6 Bitcoin for an individual is not. 6 for a company is, considering they have 2,834, right? But just slow DCA. This coffee shop bought 7 more, now holds 200. Everyone starts somewhere. It's awesome. Awesome. See, this is what people and companies that understand, they're not going to go away. They're not going to be frightened by what's going on right now. They will continue to DCA and hodl. And we all know we will get through it. It's just a matter of when, not if. We may have to wait a little bit longer, or maybe we don't. Because we have history on our side. And there are a lot of metrics that show that this is one of Bitcoin's biggest buying opportunities. Here's one. Not a whole lot of people look at this one. Coinbase's premium index. So when it's really, really, really hot, there's a premium on Coinbase. And that's because Coinbase is such a large exchange. Everyone goes in and FOMOs. So whenever there is a really, really, really hot moment, you have a premium, which means you're paying a little bit more on Coinbase than anywhere else. But also, when people are selling on Coinbase, I guess there is also a negative premium, right? And that negative premium has been going on for 33 consecutive days. So the longest negative streak since May of 2023. You know what Bitcoin fell to in May of 2023? It was like we're barely coming up from the bottom. We're coming out from 15,000, we're hovering around like $20,000 at that time. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe under 30,000, but still. Goes to show you that the fear level right now is extremely high. So high, in fact, it's equal to bottoms of crypto winter. That is what we're seeing right now. That's why, and then let me show you some more. That's why it's one of Bitcoin's biggest buying opportunities right now. Here's something else. Total supply and profit. This is just measuring the holders, whether they're in profit or starting to go into loss, right? We have seen other charts that have broken that down. Well, look at it. Total supply and profit. We have this trend line. Of course, it goes higher every cycle because Bitcoin is higher. But you could see the same kind of falls every single crypto winter. This happened in 2014, 2015, happened in 2018, 2019, and happened in 2022 and 2023. It happened during COVID too, if you see that other drop. And it has happened now. So again, this is one of those metrics that show we are as oversold, we are as in a loss, as fearful as bottoms of crypto winter. Like if you just showed someone this chart, you're like, okay, what does this tell you without saying anything? I think intelligent people look at this and say, well, whenever you hit that blue line, that's when Bitcoin starts recovering. That's what it looks like. But that's not all. That's not all. Historically, buying Bitcoin, when it's down 50% from the top, you have a 90% win rate after 1 year, and that win rate is enormous. Enormous. Okay? We're talking about over 100% in terms of your yearly return. It's crazy. It is crazy. So again, just using history. Using what has happened before. Here's something else. Closing above the EMA 200. Now, during really, really, really bad times, we fall below. Just like bottoms of crypto winters, or like during COVID, when it's the only exception because it was just massive panic selling everywhere. But you could see in 2020, we briefly broke below the EMA 200 and then we recovered, right? In 2019, we stood there for a little bit. 2021, 2022, as we came down, we stood out there a little bit. We just broke below. But now we have recovered back up. So let's see. Again, all this, you put it together, goes to show you that it is very fearful right now. We have seen a huge drawdown of 50% plus. But it's been 4 months. No, it's longer. No, it's about 4 months. It's not even longer than 4 months. Okay? And all the metrics are telling us that we are at or coming really close to bottom. And this is one of the biggest buying opportunities. Remember, wealth is made by buying low and selling high. Buying when others are panicking, buying when others are fearful, or as they say, blood is in the streets, even if it's your own. That's how the famous investors that we all know of and the billionaire investors out there, that's how they have done it. They seize the opportunity and they buy when other people are panicking. This is one of those moments. Just like the bottoms of crypto winter. Like when we fell below 20,000 and we headed to 15,000 in 2022, it's the same thing. Most people were panic selling, but people that loaded up are the ones that are benefiting, right? Same thing with that COVID crash. Same thing with the 2018, 2019 bottom. These years weren't that long ago, right? Just remember that. Outside of Bitcoin, Tom Lee is still very, very bullish still, right? He has also been saying on TV, in podcasts, he's doing a lot of podcasts now, a lot of podcasts, a lot of CNBC, a lot of just general interviews talking about Bitmine and Ethereum and about market bottoms. And he also believes we are right there. And he believes that his strategy of acquiring ETH is solid, and it doesn't matter about volatility. He has been through very many cycles too. But this is the first time he's leading a company that's loading up on billions of Ethereum, right? But whatever he's doing is working because look at it. Wall Street, some of the biggest companies, banks, asset managers, BlackRock, Citigroup, BNY Mellon, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, even ARK. They are loading up on Bitmine shares. And here's another one, Goldman Sachs, Vanguard, loading up. Each one of these companies have like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitmine stock, right? So they obviously know or think that this is the right strategy to load up on Ethereum because of tokenization, because of stable coins, and other things that's happening. So Tom Lee may be right? This is the right way to do it. And this is the time to do it too, in terms of loading up. Yeah, and I mentioned about ARK Invest too. Kathy Wood, who used to be a big, well, she still is, Bitcoin bull, Tesla bull, now Bitmine bull, Ethereum bull. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's see. U.S. market has gotten, at least NASDAQ got worse when I started. Robinhood down, MicroStrategy down, Coinbase down. Unfortunately, Coinbase is not holding green. Man, even gold and silver is tanking right now. It's like when gold and silver is tanking, you could see, especially silver, a lot of fear. Bitcoin not doing so hot this morning, falling back to the 66.8. If you could bounce off of here, utilize as a support, which we have been, then it's fine. We have seen temporary drops below, and then we bounce right back up. If we could hold above the 66.8, 66.9, let's just round it up to 67. Perfectly fine. It's just the alts are draining out a little bit more. Honestly. I forgot what I was going to say. All right, let's do some Q&A. Where is all the money draining to? That's a good question. I mean, normally speaking, it drains to gold. Okay, and gold isn't doing so well. So I don't know. Maybe it's all just people cashing out. People just holding cash. Even though there are many that hate holding on cash, even like you're talking about like funds and you know, managers and Wall Street, you know, traditionally they just dump everything into gold. And that's not the case. Gold is not skyrocketing like before. That bubble seemed like it has popped. And same thing with silver. So now it's like just kind of holding and it's still selling off. Seems like everyone just wants to hold dollars at this point. Alpha Tower, how am I supposed to know? The stream isn't over yet. And don't at me, please. Perp Tools integration probably starts next week. I think that would be big. I think that's go onboard a lot of users. In case you guys don't know, Perp Tools is the derivatives platform from DEX Tools. Do you think we'll see a recovery in Q3? I think we'll see a recovery in Q2. I think we'll see it in Q2. Not a full recovery, but we will start seeing a recovery. And then Q3 is when we start really moving upwards towards midterms. That's when things really start rallying. I mean, this feels very similar to 2020, 2025. We had a downward trend from December all the way to April. April was our bottom, and then we flipped up hard. So basically Q2. It feels very similar to what happened in 2025. In the meantime, I invite all of you guys to go on Clash Picks and make some predictions because it's fun, it's entertaining. People are winning real rewards even with P Clash. There's a lot of good stuff. People are on here every single day making predictions with P Clash and with Clash. And pretty soon we will have Soul events too. I think that's going to be big. A lot of you guys are holding Soul. You may not be holding Clash because you're still fading it, which is a mistake. But pretty soon you'll be able to use Soul too. But the most important thing is P Clash is given out for free. And you can use it to make predictions. We have a lot. And a lot of people are. All kind of predictions. Even we have some interesting ones. Even like sports. Like there's a big boxing event coming up with Ryan Garcia. I don't know. I just heard about it. We got that up right here versus Mario. And then like we got Trump. State of the Union. State of the Union's coming next week. You know, whose name will Trump use the most during the State of the Union? I think, if I was predicting, I would say Biden. Or President Xi. I mean, he says those names a lot. I mean, like, you could literally go out here and predict anything. Walmart's quarterly earnings, Nvidia's quarterly earnings. You know, you can predict about Bitcoin. Will it close above 75,000 on February 22? Probably at this point doesn't look like it, but if you think there's a chance, you know how to read the charts and you know what you're doing, you can win a 4.61x multiplier. And this is just P Clash right now. We have mixed for both. And Clash has held better than Soul. Since the beginning of the year to now, it has held much better. Yep, this is my baby. I'm on here all the time, checking things. I'm in Discord, interacting with people, sharing new features, commenting on events. This is what I'm concentrating on. I'm just waiting it out like you guys, right? I am DCAing. I'm definitely DCAing. Every single day I'm pretty much DCAing. More into Bitcoin. But I know we will get through this. We will definitely get through this. Okay? We just got to wait it out. Remember, wealth is built by basically transferring from the inpatient to the patient. That's really what it comes down to. So a lot of people that are fearful and impatient, they will sell and leave. It's unfortunate because a lot of them will leave forever. Every single cycle is like that. Every single cycle is like that. And then we recover, and then they regret it, and then they complain about, oh, I had it at this point, and I sold, and they have regret. There's a lot on here. Will XRP trade above $4 at any point before May? At this point, it seems like it's very unlikely. But, that's the thing. Things can change. If we start rallying in April, maybe there's a chance. Don't know. Maybe. Will ETH close a green handle this week, right? I mean, there's a real possibility of that because we're starting out the week so low. Same thing with all these others. We got everything on here. Everything for everyone, really. Even, like I said, sports. We have it around our tournament. We have another pro tournament tomorrow. So we got events around that. And events around tech, Trump, everything. And in March, we're going to load up more on sports too. March Madness, racing, golf, tennis. We'll have everything. I don't know when baseball comes back. I don't know how many people watch baseball. What are your thoughts on Tao? They're basically a hub for multiple AI models. They've been around for a while. Okay. Barry Schilbert is not someone that you want to be endorsing anything. He was the one that led to the fall of whatever company, the lending company. I forgot what it was. But yeah, his name got tarnished because of that. Not a good name. Stop adding me. Okay, that's one of my pet peeves. If you continue to at CryptosRUs in the live chat, not only will I ignore you, I will ban you. So please stop doing that. Tony Grip, do you mean basketball? There's no predictions on baskets? Of course not. Basketball, yes. Right now there's no games. They're still coming back from All-Star weekend. But we have a lot of basketball games. I finally fixed my computer. I realized Brave, you could turn off graphic accelerator, and that's what did it. I don't know, some kind of upgrade on Windows messed that up again. But now it's working after I turned that off in Brave. If you go into settings, there's somewhere that says like use graphics hardware whenever possible or whatever. I unchecked that and that fixed it. Game Breaker, am I still buying Shiba Inu? No. I don't remember when I ever said I was buying that. If you're looking for a good meme project that's really not a meme anymore, look at Clash. Soul under 60 would be crazy. We actually flash dipped down to 60s the other day. Believe it or not. It went down right here. 67. It's crazy. I mean, I feel like it's crazy just to see Soul where it is right now in the 80s. Right? Considering, you know, we were at 140s last month. And 140s is low compared to the 200s, but at least we went to 140s. And now we're at like 83. I'm like, come on now. Come on now. So I feel what you guys are feeling. Like, I know alts have just been absolutely crushed. But Sol's not going to go anywhere. Sol is around. ETH, Sol, XRP, these three is going to continue to thrive no matter what. Others some will find their footing and come back. Some probably won't, unfortunately. But when the market comes back, one thing I do know for certain is Clash is going to ride the wave up. Like all these other big meme projects that rode the way up with nothing, we're going to ride it up with something. It's my mission to make Clash hit 1 billion. Not only that, but also make Clash Picks one of the best and most widely used prediction markets or prediction platforms in this space. So I'll make that happen. I didn't even watch the dunk contest because I knew it was going to be bad. there's no good dunkers anymore. Like really creative dunkers. Only Matt McClung, and he turned it down because he said that a lot of people said that they would not participate if he did. So, and I made the dunk contest really. They need to really just get rid of it and just bring on a one-on-one contest. I'm glad to hear Jaylen Brown said that that's a good idea. People would love to watch a one-on-one, and you know, everyone that likes playing basketball have all done blacktop or whatever one-on-ones growing up, either with your siblings, with your friends, and wherever. One-on-one is such a big thing for basketball, right? So it would be amazing to see that at All-Star game. But a lot of stars will not participate because they don't want to be embarrassed. But I think a lot of them will. They're, you know, like I know Anthony Edwards, he'll do one-on-one with anyone. I bet he'll even do it with Wemby. Like he has that in him. You could tell, right? He'll play one-on-one with anyone. He thinks in his head he's going to win no matter what, no matter who he's playing. There will be some guys like that. And that would be so much more entertaining than our current like dunk contests, which they should just remove because there's no good dunkers anymore. I think Anthony Edwards would probably win. I don't think anyone can really match up with him. Wemby would be up there. No one could really match up with him. Giannis would be unstoppable. I think AD could do well, but he won't do it because he's too injury prone. I don't know. Jaylen Brown seems like he has really good lockdown defense. I think he could do well. I don't know who else. Just thinking about everyone that played. Like someone like Shea would do horribly because there's no fouls in one-on-one, right? Like he couldn't go to the free throw line. KD probably do really well. It'd be hard to stop him. But KD, like, you know, you match him up against Wemby, there's nothing he could do against Wemby. He can't stop him, and Wemby could shoot. So Wemby would be probably one of the toughest to stop. DCAing Bitcoin and Clash. Those are my two bread and butters right now. Joker will not do well one-on-one. He will not do well. Yeah, my money, if I was predicting one-on-one, it would be probably someone like Edwards, Wemby, or like Giannis. It would be like those three. And probably Durant as a 4. Those 4 would probably be unstoppable. On Clash Picks, why don't early predictions lock in the current multiplier? Because you got to think about the math here, okay? If it locks the multiplier, what about all the bids after you? Where are they winning from? You realize that the multiplier is based on the bids and volume, right? And those change. If you lock it, then what about the next person that makes the prediction? Where are they getting their multiplier from? So that means every 2 new predictions are locked with each other. And that's not fair. And that's not equal. So you got to think about the math of these things. You can't just make suggestions. That's what a lot of people do because they don't quite understand. But take a second to think about why that can't be. Or you could ask ChatGPT. Basically, it's pari-mutuel, which means that the winners are winning from the losers, right? So that's why you can't have a locked multiplier, because that means that you would just basically lock the liquidity for just a pair of people. Cade Cunningham actually surprised me. He was actually doing a lot of blocks. He was blocking people and playing good D. He's a big guy. I don't think people realize he's like a solid like 6'8" guy. I never watched Cade play, but I was actually pretty impressed during the All-Star game. He played a lot of defense. He was injured his first year too, like his rookie year. But he's playing Detroit. No one cares about Detroit. But I was impressed with his play, and he's a big guy. It's funny, like most normal humans, we stand next to anyone playing NBA, even the short guards at like 6'2", 6'3". They're tall, right? But 6'2", 6'3" is short in NBA. Most guards now and forwards are 6'7", 6'8". And you have then like the 6'10", 6'11" guys. And then you have like Wemby, who's standing like at 7'7". You know, all the 7-footers look at him and say, wow, he's tall. But like people don't realize, how often do you see a 7-footer walking around? It's like 1 in a million. Like you never even see a 7-footer walk around. And when you see someone that's like 6'6", 6'7" walking around, it's like, it's already rare, right? But in the NBA, everyone's like that height. It's crazy. Rich Scotterson, like a pot and poker game. That's exactly right. Or horse racing. You're winning from the pot. The winners win from the losers, right? That's why you can't have fixed multipliers. It's not like if you're playing at a poker table with 10 people, you're like, oh, I'm just winning from that one guy, and then everyone else doesn't, is not part of it. That's what a fixed multiplier would be, right? So it's impossible. It doesn't make sense. So just think about that. That's how Clash Picks is set up. The winners win from the losers. That's it. And there may be multiple losers from different categories. So most of these are set up with yes and no's, but sometimes we do have ones where it's more than one option, or more than 2 options like this, right? That's where the multipliers go up and adjust with more volume coming in. So basically in this format, there's only one. Number 1 free app in the US by February 21st. There can only be 1 winner. There can't be 2 winners. So let's say it's Google Threads, Instagram Threads, right? Most people don't think that they're going to win. That's why most of the liquidity is in ChatGPT, and then second is in Gemini, and then third is in others, but Threads is in there, right? So let's say you do win with Threads. You predicted Threads. The reason why your multiplier is so high is because you're taking away from all the losers, and most of the liquidity is in ChatGPT, Gemini, and others, right? That's why the multipliers, they adjust and why they are the way they are. It's an easy concept. Detroit is strong right now. Yeah, I'm not trying to fade Detroit. I just don't pay attention to them. But with Cade leading, I think they're gonna do okay. But we all know when it comes to like the one problem with NBA, unlike the NFL, is like you don't have any upsets, right? Because NBA, just like MLB or any other sport, other than NFL, you play a series in the playoffs. And series is way different, right? The better team is always going to win. Out of 7, you're going to have one team, the better team win. There's not going to be any upsets, right? So football, there could be upsets, and that's it. One and done, you're out. So you can have a surprise winner in the Super Bowl, and we have seen that over the years. But with NBA, you're not. You never go see a surprise team like Detroit. The odds of Detroit winning the championship this year is 0. There's no odds because there's way better teams that will win. Unless all the players, all the good players on those teams all get injured and then maybe something like that happens. San Antonio, they're young, but you could see how thirsty Wemby is, right? He works hard. He was trying to win at the All-Star game. He was really trying. He was upset. I was so pissed off at Jamal Murray because in the first game, Jamal Murray would just ignore Wemby. I think they don't like each other. He just never passed to Wemby. When he was down low, he would just drive in and do these stupid shots. I hate Jamal Murray. I always hated Jamal Murray. And he showed his colors in the All-Star game. He wanted to get buckets for himself rather than help the world team win. Because Wemby was dominating, and he just would not give him the ball. I hated that. But anyways, going back to Wemby, like when he tries hard, no one can stop him. You have to triple team him. But the other cast on San Antonio, they're too young. They're not as dominating, so I don't think they're going to go far either. It's probably going to be, I hate to say it, OKC, which I hate, but it's probably going to be OKC again. I forgot about Kyrie. Kyrie's kind of like faded into the, I don't know, just faded because he's injured so much. No one remembers him anymore. It would be cool, like, we had a one-on-one contest, like, get Cooper Flag in there, right? He's a big dude. He's like 6'10", and he could play. He could ball. So, like, imagine, getting him in there to play against, like, I don't know, Giannis, and him upsetting Giannis and beating him. That gets you major cred. I'm out of coffee. Yeah, MicroStrategy is still not doing very well today. Coinbase, man, my neck, major neck ache. Man, silver's down 6%. I hold some silver ETFs, and they are not doing well now. I mean, the funny thing is, I bought silver right around this point, like right around 73. I rode it all the way to 120, and I'm like, I should sell. And then the day afterwards, it crashes down 30%. And now we're back to where we started. But my ETF, you know how ETFs work is like they try to rebalance every single day, and you minus the fees. And I'm actually down. So ETFs aren't as great as they seem sometimes. Like I knew silver would top out. I've been saying that in my streams. Right, I'm like, it's going to top out and come down. I didn't think it would drop down 30 freaking percent in one day. I figure when it starts dropping like 5%, 6%, that's when the bubbles go burst and then you get out. I did not imagine at all. I did not even consider the possibility that it could fall down 35% in one single day. This is silver we're talking about. Like trillions in market value. What are your thoughts on a Pokemon card that sold for 16 million? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to it. I know Pokemon market is still very hot. You can't find any of those boxes that come out. They get sold immediately. So I know Pokemon cards still very hot. Very, very hot. I just don't know who would pay 16 million for that card. I mean, that's like all-time high. All-time for all cards, I believe. I don't even think any of the baseball like or basketball cards ever sold for 16 million. I think it's all-time high. Money laundering? Probably. Probably. All right, guys. We'll conclude. Today, I don't know, same as before. Starting out, not so hot. Of course, fear is still high. Uncertainty is still there. Okay, we're not past it. But, again, fundamentals, holding, and improving. A lot of smart and big money are still loading up, right? That's the important thing to remember. Okay, not everyone's getting out. Not everyone's panicking. In fact, the big money is actually accumulating behind the scenes. And the metrics show that bottom is here. Here, there, it's close. We're as oversold and as fearful as bottoms of crypto winter. So you put 2 and 2 together. All right. Stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tonight or in Discord. And of course, go check out Clash Picks. Claim some P-Clash for free and start making predictions on everything. All right. All right. Have a good one. Take care.